So yesterday we'll discuss that forms, not forms, tables, and then list, paragraph, headings. These things only yesterday we'll discuss, right? So today we're going to discuss how to make one form, how to create one form. Today we can discuss about that. So first of all, whenever we are creating some tables, forms, whenever we have to use some HTML code, now first thing the basic structure is mandate. So what is the basic structure now? HTML is a block, open tag, close tag. Within the HTML, we have to assign head down section will be there. After that, body one section is there, two section, head section, and then body section. So within the head section indicates tab section. The body section indicates document section. So this is the tab section. This is the document section. The head section indicates tab section. The body section indicates document section. So whenever we are going to write some code now, within our body section only, we are going to create the web page content. So what we are going to do in head section now, like we are going to assign the page name. So how to assign the page name now? By using title tag to we can assign the page name. Title open tag, close tag. So today we're going to discuss HTML forms only we're going to discuss. Save the file and then now we have empty basic structure will be there. Now we have to run this code in Chrome or somewhere now. So we need to install one extension. Which extension? Live server one extension will be there. So already I have that extension. If you don't have that extension now, you can install that one. After that only you are getting that like open with live server option. By using this option too, we can run that document. See, now we are getting the document empty. The document only is there. The heading, I mean, the page name will be HTML forms will be the page name. So yesterday we'll discuss how to create one table, how to make list, and then headings, paragraph. These things only we'll discuss yesterday. So today we can discuss that HTML forms. So you can search here, Google or somewhere you can search HTML forms. You can click images. So you can take any one basic form here. Like for example, here, like okay, this one. So personal details one form will be there. The basic information will be there. Name, user input box, password, user input box, email ID, user input box, gender, male and female, contact, user input box, and then education qualification. One thing is that degree select option will be there. Here also engineering select option will be there. Hobbies means check boxes will be there. Address and then one text area will be there. Attach resume and then one choose file option button will be there. Finally submit button will be there. So this is the basic details, I mean personal details form will be there. Now I want to make one form like this. Now how to make that form now? So by using that predefined tags only we are going to make that form now. So you know right, or what is the HTML command line? Less than exclamatory hyphen hyphen 2, we can make that command line. The command line are not executed here. For description purpose only we are using that command line. So after that, now, whenever we are creating, so like we are going to discuss forms, right? So whenever we are going to use tables now, the table will be tagged. So whenever we are going to create that forms now, the form only tag. The forms tag indicates form only tag. So now the form will be block. Form will be block. Within the block, two items will be there. So what are the two items will be there now? One is a label, one tag will be there. Label tag is there, and then input tag is there. Two tags will be there, label tag, input tag. So what is the use of label tag now? Which is used to give the reference for the users. That is a label tag. By using label tag to, we can give the reference for the users. So what is the use of label now? For example, this is the name. So this is one reference name. So we are the users. So we have like we don't know which user input box is there. For the users, we have to give some reference name now. There only we using that label tag and all. So by using that label tag too, we can show that reference name, password, email ID, gender like that. We can show that reference name C. And then input tag will be there, right? So what is the use of input tag now? So which is used to make user input box? Which is used to make user input box? Input box. So what is the purpose we are using that user input box now? So within the user input box only, user going to assign the data and all. So what is the purpose we are using that user input box now? To get the data from the users. What is the purpose user input box means? To get the data from the users. That's why we are using that user input box and all. Clear? Whenever we are creating the forms now, the form will be tagged, the block. Within the block, two items will be there. What are the two tags now? The first one is the label, and then second one is the input. So what is the label now? Which is used to give the reference name for the users. So what is the input tag now? Which is used to make user input box. So what is the use of user input box now? To get the data from the users. That is a user input box. So now I want to make one form. So whenever we are creating the forms now, form will be block, open tag, close tag. Now the form block will be created within our body section only. So within the form block, so two tags will be there. Label one tag, input one tag is there. Now I want to create some reference name now. By using label tag we can create the reference name. So what is the reference name now? Full name reference name will be created. So here simply before the form H1, I am going to assign like HTML forms will be heading is there. Save the file, just go and check it your output now, whether it is working or not. See the HTML forms heading will be created. After that, the full name on reference name also created. And then now we need to make one user input box. How to make one user input box? Now by using input tag too, we can make that user input box. So what is the use of input tag now, which is used to make user input box? What is the purpose user input box? Now to get the data from the users. So now how to make that one now? Input one tag is there. By using input tag too, we can make that user input box. So the input tag and all only open tag is there. There is no close tag and all here. See, label means open tag is there, close tag is there. So for the input and all, there is no close tag and all, only open tag will be there. Save the file, just go and check it your output. See, the reference name and then the user input box will be created. So now, whenever user going to assign the text now, like alphabetics now, the full name means we are going to assign, user going to assign the alphabetics only. In that case, we have to add some additional information for this input tag. So which attribute now? Type one attribute is there. Which type we are going to make now? Text type. Text type means alphabetics. Alphanumeric characters. So full name means we are going to assign the alphanumeric characters. In that case, we can assign the type is the attribute. Which type now? Alphabetics type. Text type. So after that, you can assign that name and all. Whatever the data user want, we can assign it within our user input box. Clear? So after that, the next one, I want to make one more reference name. Password will be reference name will be. So I want to make one more reference name here. So how to make that reference name? By using label tag too, we can make that reference name. Label open tag, close tag. So here I'm going to assign email ID will be the reference name will be. Save the file, just go and check it your output now, whether it is working or not. See, the email ID reference name will be created. So now full name user input box, email ID, the reference name will be created. So for this email ID also, we need to make one user input box now. How to make that user input box now? By using input type to we can input tag to we can assign that user input box.
அப்படி எப்படி ஜாயின் பண்றாங்க?
Gunasegar, mute yourself. Say email ID user input box will be there. After that, we need to add some additional information for this input box now. So which attribute now? Type only attribute. Which type we are going to make now? Email type, because we are going to assign that email ID. Email ID means @gmail.com only we are going to assign. See, this is the email ID. Now you can assign that whatever the data email ID you want, like @gmail.com here. And then here you can assign that name date. Clear? So this is the way for we are making full name user input box, email ID user input box. So everything we are getting in same line, right? The full name user input box, email ID user input box, everything we are getting in the same line. For example, now, for example, I'm going to assign one H1 here. So within the H1, like hello something data will be there. I'm going to assign one more H2, like H2 will be there. Hi data will be there. See, so whenever we are using the H1, H2 now, we are getting one by one. The first one H1, after that only it will start from second line, new line, right? It will H2 also start with new line. So here also we are going to use label two times, input also two times, but everything it comes in same line. Why? Why now? Because the label input tag and all inline elements. The label input tag and all inline elements. So the headings and all block level elements. Block line element. So what is the inline elements? What is the block line elements and all? No? So the inline elements means inline elements and all. Inline elements always it will start with same line and only it get necessary with, that is the inline element. So what is a block level elements now? Block level elements always it will access 100 percentage of width space. 100 percentage of width. That is a block elements. So now our document max width size will be 100 percentage. So whenever we're using the block elements, inline elements and all we can discuss later also. So for example, I'm telling why it will start with same line, why it will start with new line. So block level elements and all, always it will start with new line and then it occupying 100 percentage of width space. So inline elements and all, always it will start with same line and then only it take necessary with whatever the element which size one, only it taking necessary with. That is a inline element. Clear? So now the label input and all inline elements, that's why we're getting as a same line here. Clear? So now my requirement is I have to make full name user input box in first row. After that, next line only we have to make email ID user input box. So how to do that one now? In that case, we're using that break line one tag is there. So by using break line tag too, we can make that one. So how to declare that break line tag now? The break line tag indicates BR tag. So the break line tag also only open tag, there is no close tag. And all. In between, the full name user input box will be there. After that, email ID user input box is there. In between, I am going to making that break line BR tag. Save the file, just go and check it your output. See the full name user input box, email ID user input box. So in between, we have to make some more space now. In that case, I'm going to assign one more break line. We are getting some more space now. Save the file. See full name user input box, email ID user input box. In between, we having some space now. Why not? Because two break lines is there. By using break line two, we can break the space in between. Clear, guys? Anyone having doubts in this? Banu, Charita, Dipti. Anyone having doubts? Monisha, Sharmila, Kirti. Okay. So coming to the next one. BR tag again because I have to make one by one. So here label tag, by using label tag to what is the reference name now? Password is a reference name. Save the file, just go and check it your output. Now the password, the reference name will be created. So the password reference name is there. Now I have to make one user input box also for the password, right? Save this one. So now for the password also the user input box will be created. So when the user going to assign the password now, like when the user going to assign the password now, Like password means we have to make some security here, like disable type, right? So now when the user given some text or numbers password means we are getting it will be we are visible everything, right? So we don't want to do like this. Everything we have to make some disable type, some security we have to make now. There only we are going to add that attribute. Which attribute now? Type is an attribute. Which type we are going to make now? Password type we are going to make. Save the file, just go and check it your output now. So now when the user given some password, now we are getting as a some security will be there. Clear? So this is the way for we making that password. After that, here gender one thing is there and then male and female one thing is there. See, now I have to make one more reference name. So in between, I'm going to assign the break line. Why now I have to make one by one? In that case, we need to make that break line. Label tag. So within the label tag, gender will be reference name. Save this one. Now the reference name will be created gender. After that, for the gender also, I'm going to make one user input box. By using input tag too, we can make that user input box. See, gender user input box will be created. So here and gender radio buttons will be there. This is the radio buttons, right? So now we need to make one radio button. How to make as a radio button now? Like there only we have to add that attribute. Which attribute now? Type is the attribute. Which type we are going to make now? Radio type we have to make. Save the file. Just go and check it your output. Now the radio button will be created here. So again, we have to make one more radio button. How to make one more radio button? We have to create one more user input box, and then we have to add the type attribute. Which type now? Radio type. Save the file. Just go and check it your output. See, radio button. Two radio buttons will be created. We need to assign the options, right? What is the options now? I have to assign male on option, and then second one female one option. Two options we have to assign. Save the file. Just go and check it your output. Full name user input box, email ID user input box, password user input box, gender male and female will be there. So when the user selecting male, the male will be selected. When the user selecting female, the female also selected, right? So this is not proper way, right? So, like when we are selecting male now, we have to make as a disable this female. When we selecting this female now, we have to make as a disable this male. So any one option only we have to select male, either female. In that case, we have to add one more attribute here. So what is that one more attribute now? Name on attribute is there. So name is attribute. Whatever the name you want, you can create it here, your wish only. So why we are creating that name now? Because for the user input box, we are going to create that name under. Whatever the name you want, you can create it. So simply I'm going to create the name. A is a name. For the user input box, we created that name. A is a name by using name attribute. So, and then here second user input box also we have to use same attribute. What is the attribute? Name is the attribute. So whatever the name we created here, the same name only we have to pass here also. Why now? Because for the users, we have to tell like the both user input box are same. I mean, both radio buttons are same. Any one option only we have to select. In that case, by using name attribute to, we are assigning the same value. The value will be A. Save the file. Just go and check it now whether it is working or not. So now when the user selecting male, the male will be selected. When the user selecting female, now the female is selected, male will be disabled. When the user selecting male, male will be selected, female will be disabled. So this is the way for making that gender option. And then contact, coming to the contact. So next one, I have to make one reference name here. How to make that reference name? Before that, I'm going to assign that break line. The break line also only open tag is there is no close tag. So after this break line, I'm going to create one label tag. So within the label tag, what is the reference name now? Like contact will be reference name. Save this one, just go and check it your output. Now the contact reference name will be created. After that, I want to make one user input box for the contact number. So by using input tag, we can make that user input box. So now the contact means only we have to assign numbers only, right? For example, when the user assigning alphabetics, the alphabetics also it we are getting. So when the user assign numbers, the numbers also we are getting here. So this is not proper way, right? The contact means only we have to assign that numbers. No need to assign that text and all, right? In that case, we have to add that attribute. Which attribute? Type is an attribute. Which value? No, number is a value. Save that one. Now, when the user assigns some text now, you're not getting the text. When the user assigns some numbers now, only we're getting that numbers, and then two option will be there. Increment one option will be there. Decrement one option also is there. So this is the way for we are making that number type one. Clear? And then next one. So here degree one thing will be there. Degree. For example, like when we are going to some colleges, like whenever we are going to select some groups or departments now. So like any one department only we can select there, right? In that case, we have to make that select option. How to make that select option now? So before that, I'm going to assign that break line here. Two break line will be. So after this break line, I'm going to assign that label tag. So within the label tag, like simply I'm going to assign departments will be reference name. Save this one. You can check it your output. Now the department, the reference name will be created. So for the departments, I have to make one select option. How to make that select option? Now, select one tag will be there. By using select tag too, we can make that select option. Select open tag, close tag will be there. There is no any options initially. Only the select open tag, close tag will be there. Save the file, just go and check it your output. See the select option will be created here. After that, within the select, we have to assign some options. Options means the departments will be there. Not only department, whatever the option you want, you can assign it here. So now I want to assign some options now. So how to assign the options now? By using option on tag will be there. By using that option tag, we can assign that option tag. So CSC one depart, one option. And then I want to assign one more option. The same select block only, we are going to assign the second option. ECE one option. And then one more option, one more department I have to assign. Triple E. So one more option I have to make now. One more option tag make. Save the file. Just go and check it your output whether it is working or not. We can check it on. See departments. See when we selecting EC, only the EC will be selected. When the user selecting make only selected. When the user selecting CSC, only the CSC will be selected. Refresh on time. See, defaultly the CSE department will be selected, right? So this is not proper way. We have to select any one department. In that case, simply you can assign one more option in top of the select option will be tag, and then here you can assign that select will be option. Save the file. So now there is no any department will be selected here. Select option will be there. When we clicking this one now, we're getting that four departments. CSC, ECE, EEE, Mac. Any one department we can select it here. Clear? So this is the way for way making that select option. And then next one. Next one means the checkboxes will be there. Checkboxes is there here. How to make that checkboxes now? For example, after this select, I'm going to assign that break line, BR tag. After this BR tag, I'm going to make that label. Within the label, for example, technologies will be there. Technologies will be reference name. So technologies means n number of skills we can learn it, n number of skills we can select it. In that case, we can assign that checkboxes. So simply like I'm going to make one user input box here, input technologies, and then the user input box will be created. Technologies, user input box. And then now we need to make one checkbox. Guys, just a minute. See the technologies and then user input box will be created. After that, we need to make one checkbox here. How to make that checkbox now? There only we have to add that attribute. What is that attribute now? Type is attribute and then checkbox is a value. Save the file, just go and check it your output. Now the checkbox will be created. So I have to make some more checkboxes now. How to make that some more checkboxes? Now same way only. Input tag, type is the attribute, checkbox is the value. Save that one. Again, I want to make some more checkboxes. I'm going to copy and paste it one more time. Save the file. Just go and check it your output now. The four checkboxes will be there. Four checkboxes will be there. I have to assign some options for this checkbox. Like the first one, HTML one option, and then second one I'm going to assign CSS option, and then third one JavaScript one option, and then fourth one React JS one option. Save the file. Just go and check it your output. See full name user input box, email user input box, password user input box, gender radio buttons, contact number will be there, department a number of departments will be there. Any one department we can select. Technologies, in number of skills, whatever the skills we want, we can select. For example, my requirement HTML CSS only I want. After that, you can submit that form. Either I want to select HTML JavaScript. Either I want to select React. Either I want to select these four technologies. Now we can select four also fine. So this is the way for way making the check boxes and all. Clear? And then next one, I'm going to assign the break line. BR tag. After BR tag, I'm going to assign one more label tag. For example, some forms now table time is there now. We have to select the time. Some forms now date also will be there. So now we are going to now we are going to do that one date and then time also. First we can do that one time now. Time either date we can do first. Date is a reference name. Save the file. Just go and check it your output. Now the date, the reference name will be created. So for the date, I'm going to make that user input box. Input tag we can make that user input box. Save the file. Now the date reference name, user input box will be created. After that, now date means, so we have to show that years, month, and then days, right? Three things will be there. In that case, we have to add that attribute here. Which attribute now? Type is attribute. Which type we are going to make now? Date type we are going to make. Save this one. When we using this type now we are getting month, day, year also. We can directly assign that month and day here, anyone. Either the right side calendar on symbol is there. When we clicking that calendar symbol now, we are getting that days here. And then when we clicking this one now, months will be there. After that, here years also is there. Clear? So this is the way for we using the date option. And then coming to the time now. Break line here, to break line. After this break line, label tag. Within the label tag, the time is a reference name. Now the time we have to make. So whenever we are going to create the time now, like hours, minutes, and then AM, either PM, any one thing, right? So before that, I'm going to create that user input box here. Save the file, just go and check it your output. Time and then user input box is created. After that, now we need to add that attribute. Which attribute now? Type is a attribute. Which type now? Time we have to assign the time. Save this one. Now the first one hours, the second one minutes, and then third one AM, PM. Directly we can assign the text also. Either the clock symbol is there now. When we clicking this clock symbol now, we are getting one clock. So here hours will be there. Here the minutes will be there. Here the AM, PM also is there. You can select the time also. See, now the time will be selected. This is the way for we are making date and then time. So now we'll discuss that date and time individually, right? For example, my requirement is at the same time, at the same user input box, for the users, we have to show date and time. The both we have to show in same option. In that case, what we need to know now, there also one option will be there. How to do that one now? So break line I'm going to assign. To break line is there. After this break line, label will be tag. Within the label tag, date and then time is a option now. Save this one. Now the reference name will be created, date and time. So for the date and time also, I'm going to make one user input box. So by using input tag, we can make that user input box. See now date and time and then user input box will be created. After that, now we need to add the attribute, right? Which attribute? Now type is attribute and then which type we have to add. Now date time local one value will be there. By using this date time local too, we can assign that date and time. See the first one month, day, year will be there. Hours, minutes, and then AM, PM will be there. So the calendar symbol is there. When we clicking this calendar symbol now, we are getting left side the calendar, right side the clock also we are getting. Clear? So this is the way for we are selecting. Now the date also selected here. The hours, minutes, AM or PM also selected. So this is the way for we are declaring the date and time option. Individually also we can assign either the same of, I mean same user input box, we can assign that date and time. Any one method we can use it. After that break line. And then for example, like we need to upload some images or we need to upload some images or photos, PDFs, resumes. In that case, we have to upload some files now. There also we have to make some file option, right? So before that, the meeting will be less than 1 minute will be there. I will share one more Zoom link. You can join that one. Please be joined first. See now, like here, finally. So in this form, like attach resume one option will be there. Choose file one button also is there. When we clicking that choose file button now, we have to move that file, like we have to select that file within our files manager, like files are somewhere we have to select any files or images like that, we have to make that option. How to do that one now? First thing we have to create that label tag. So within the label tag, like files will be option. Save that one, just go and check it your output now. So now the files option will be created. After that, I'm going to make that user input box. How to do that one now? By using input box to input tag to, we can make that user input box. So now we need to add that file type. So how to add that one now? Type is an attribute, file is the option. By using file option to, we can do that one. See now choose file one button will be there. Like everyone mute yourself. Like Vinay, mute yourself. See here, files is there, and then choose files one button will be there. Initially, there is no file will be chosen here. So when we clicking this button now, defaultly it will go to the files manager. See, default it will be come to the files manager. So here n number of files will be there. Any one image like installation one PDF will be there. I'm going to select that one. See, now the installation PDF will be selected. So this is the way for we are making. Not only files, videos, photos, whatever you want to select, you can select. This is the way. Clear. And then next one. So break line. So after this break line, I'm going to make one more label tag. So why I have to make a break line now? For example, some forms will be there now. Address also we have to assign, right? Address. Like for the address only, I'm going to make this user input box, like reference name. Save this one. See, now the address also the reference name will be created. See, address means here one text area will be there. Address and all, right? One text area will be there. How to do that one now? So there also one tag will be there. Which tag now? Text area only tag. Text area open tag, close tag will be there. Save the file, just go and check it your output. Now the text area will be created. So here defaultly tasking the address and all. So n number of words content we can assign it here. After that, one more advantage will be there. So the text area size we can increase also here. We can increase, either we can decrease also. That is a text area. We can decrease, either we can increase. That is the advantage of text area. Clear? So this is the text area option. And then finally the button will be the submit button is there. So now in HTML, like how many ways to we can create the button now? 4 ways to we can create the button and all. So now what are the ways to we can create that button and all now? For example, first step. So here after this text area, I'm going to assign that break line, 2 break lines. After this break line, now I want to make the button now. So before that, simply I'm going to make that input tag. See, here this one. Now the input box will be created. After that, for this input box, we need to make as a button. How to make as a button now? Type is an attribute. Which type now? Button type. I have to make this user input box. See, now the button will be created. After that, there is no any button name, right? Only the button will be created, but the button name also mandatory thing. We need to assign the button name, right? So how to assign the button name and all now? So there also we have to use one more attribute now. What is that one more attribute now? Value one attribute is there. By using value attribute, we can assign that button name and all. For example, my requirement is the button name I have to assign sign up will be button name. I have to create sign up button name. Save this one. See, the button name will be sign up is there. This is the one way. So remaining 3 ways is there. So what are the remaining 3 ways now? Now I am going to tell you. Input. Save this one. Now the one more user input box also created. So now we are going to make that submit button. How to make that submit button? There also the type is attribute, submit is a value. Save this one. See, now the submit button also created here. 2 methods. So type is equal to button, type is equal to submit. So here and all the button name it comes defaultly submit, right? Why now? Because that is a submit button. That's why we are getting as a submit type. So either we want to update that button name. We need to change the button name now. We can change it. How to change the button name now? So by using value attribute only, we can change that button name. So for example, simply I'm going to assign the button name. Login is a button. Changing the button name. Login is a button name. See, now it comes as a login is a button. This is the second way. And then third way, how to make that third way now? Reset button will be the input. Now also the user input box will be created. After that, we need to add that attribute. Which attribute? Now type is attribute, reset is a value. Save this one. See, now the reset button also created. So now the reset button also created. So why we have to make that? Why we using that reset button now? When the user given some like wrong data, something is wrong now, we have to reset this data now. In that case, we using that reset button. Now the button name it comes defaultly reset only, right? For example, I want to update that button name. I want to change the button name now. We can change it. How to change the button name now? By using value only, we can change that button name. So simply, I'm going to updating as a button name logout. See, now the button name it comes as a logout. This is the third way. And then fourth way. So what is the final now? Like button one tag will be there, open tag, close tag. By using button tag also we can make that button. Save. See, now the button will be created here also. But there is no any button. How to declare that button name now? The open tag, close tag is there now. In between only we are going to create the button name. So simply I'm going to create that button name. Click is a button. Save this one. Now the click button also created it. See, so the 4 ways to we can create that button tags. So sign up, like, yeah, sorry, input type button, input type submit, input type reset, and then button tag also we can create that buttons. So anyone having doubts up to here? This is the way for we are going to create one basic form. Like anyone having doubts in this? That's good. So, and then one more attribute will be there. What is that one more attribute now? Placeholder one attribute will be there. So what is the use of placeholder attribute now? Before entering the data, before enter the data, so we have to give some reference name for the users. Like what is the reference name now? For example, within the user input box, we have to show the reference name for the users. How to do that one now? By using placeholder attribute, we can make that one. So like for example, here label full name will be there. Input type is equal to text. Here only in this user input box, we have to give some reference name for the users. How to do that one? Now? There only we using that placeholder attribute. So the attributes and all always we have to use within our open tag on. So now I want to give the reference name like enter your name, enter your name here, simply the reference name for the user. Save this one, just go and check it your output. Full name user input box will be there. Within the user input box, for the user, we are getting one reference name. What is the reference name? Enter your name here, the reference name we are getting. And then when the user enter the data, the reference name will be disabled. So before entering the data for the users, we are showing that the reference name. Enter your data here. Take enter your name here. Like that for the users only, we are going to show that reference name. Once the data will be entered, once the user will be given some data, now the reference will be disabled. Clear? So this is the use of, this is the way for we using that placeholder. For example, for this email also, I'm going to use that placeholder. Enter your email here. Save this one. Just go and check it out. See the reference name we are getting within our user input. So here also we have to make for the password also we have to give that reference. In that case, we can use that placeholder attribute. Enter your password here. Save this one. Just go and check it out. See enter your password. So when the user given some data, no, it will be disabled. So enter your email. When the user given some mail ID, no, it will be disabled. When the user given some button, it will be disabled. So this is the way for we are using that placeholder attribute. Clear? So this is the way for we are going to create the basic form in HTML section. Clear, guys? Anyone having doubts in this? Like Banu, Cherita, Deepti, Vishita, Sharmila, Pujita. If you're having any doubts now, you can ask me. Vinay, Pavitra, Kirti. Anyone, like no one can't unmute, like everyone like texting only. Okay, it's okay. Fine. So today is enough. Today is enough. Tomorrow we can discuss that block elements and then inline elements. So up to the forms will be completed. So if you're having any doubts now, you can text me or you can call me. I will help. Okay. Thank you. You can leave. Okay. Pavitra, Deepti, having any doubts? Hello. Any doubts is there? Can hear me now? Deepti, Pavitra, you can leave. If you don't have any doubts, now you can leave. Otherwise, you can ask any doubts. Hello, can I end this one? Okay, then you can leave, guys. Hello, Pavitra, you have any doubts? Hello, I think you left.